We're going to talk about the single biggest mistake that founders make, and more importantly, how you can avoid it for free. But first, let me tell you about Arjun.
Arjun spent 7 entire months. He designed the app himself, he hired a developer, he created an entire Instagram page with 200 scheduled posts, he even bought a domain and built a full pitch deck. He literally did everything you're told you're supposed to do. And after all that, when he finally launched, in that first week, he got a grand total of 11 downloads.
Now, let's just break that number down for a second. 4 of those downloads were his own. Yeah, 3 more were from his friends, who he had to beg. So that leaves
4. The other 4 were probably just a mistake, a complete, total, soul-crushing failure. But here's the crazy part. Arjun's app wasn't bad. The design was fine. His execution was pretty good, actually.
So what was the one thing he missed? His one fatal mistake? He never actually asked anyone. Not a single real stranger. Not one potential customer. He just built in a bubble.
So if that story sounds a little too familiar, or if you're worried it might become your story, then this is for you. I'm going to show you 4 zero-cost, zero-code ways to test your idea so you don't end up like Arjun.
All right, first up is something so simple, so basic, that most people just skip right over it. They think, how can a simple form actually work? Trust me, it's one of the most powerful things you can do.
You're going to create a Google form with just these 5 questions. Number 1, a simple yes or no. Do they even have the problem you think they have? 2, how often? Is it a daily headache or a once-a-year thing? 3, and listen up, this one is the gold mine. How do they solve it now? Their answer, whether it's a messy Excel sheet or just a bunch of WhatsApp groups, well, that is your real competition. And finally, 4 and 5 are about their actual intent and willingness to pay. Now, you send this form to about 50 people who you think are your ideal customers. If 60 to 70% of them come back and say, yes, I have this problem, and yes, I'd pay for it, boom, that's your green light. But you know what? If they say it's not a big deal, that's maybe the most valuable answer of all, because you just saved yourself 6 months of wasted effort.
Okay, method number 2. This one is my secret weapon, and honestly, it's criminally underused. We're talking about Reddit. Why? Because the people there are brutally, beautifully honest. Nobody cares about your feelings.
But here's the trick. You absolutely do not post your idea. You don't say, hey, what do you think of my app? No, you find the right subreddit, maybe for freelancers or students or entrepreneurs, and you just post the problem. Simply ask, hey, does anyone else struggle with this? How are you dealing with it right now? And then you just listen.
And that's the whole game right there. Your friends, they're going to be nice. They'll say, awesome idea, bro. Strangers on Reddit? They will give you the cold, hard, unfiltered truth. They'll tell you if your problem isn't a real problem. Or even better, they'll tell you what their real pain point is. If you get a flood of comments and upvotes, you've hit a nerve. If you get crickets, that's your answer right there.
All right, method 3 levels things up a little bit, but don't worry, still zero coding required. We're going to build a super simple landing page to see what people do, not just what they say. You can use a free tool like card.co and have this live in literally 30 minutes.
Your page only needs 3 things. 1, the problem, stated in one sharp, painful line. 2, the solution. But here's the key. You talk about the outcome, not the features. Nobody cares about your features yet. Tell them, go from 3 hours of painful work to just 30 minutes. And 3, a dead simple call to action. Join the waitlist. That's it. Just capture an email.
Now you share that page around, and you focus on one number and one number only, the conversion rate. Forget how many people saw it. If you get 500 people to your page, but only 8 sign up, that is a massive signal. It tells you your message is wrong, the problem isn't painful enough, or you're talking to the wrong people. Something is broken, and you need to fix it before you build anything.
And that brings us to the final method, the ultimate test. This is the one that's going to feel the most uncomfortable, and that's exactly why it's the most powerful validator of them all. The idea is simple. You sell it before you build it.
बता देना और ले लो मेरा पैसा में बहुत फर्क है. There's a world of difference between someone saying, yeah, cool idea, let me know when you launch, and someone pulling out their credit card and saying, hey, take my money. The first one is just politeness. The second one, that is validation.
So here's the play. You go to 10 potential customers, you pitch them the idea, and then you ask for a small payment right then and there. Maybe it's $10, maybe $20. Call it a pre-order for early access. If people are willing to pay you now for something that doesn't even exist yet, your demand is real. If it doesn't sell, the problem isn't your product, it's the demand itself.
So what's the whole point of this? What are we really doing here? The goal of validation isn't to prove that your idea is a stroke of genius. It's simply to turn on the light, to make sure that the problem is real, that customers actually exist, and that someone somewhere is ready to pay.
So that's your toolkit: a Google form to ask the direct questions, Reddit to get brutally honest feedback, a landing page to measure what people actually do, and pre-selling to get real, actual money. 4 incredibly powerful tools, and they're all free.
Because building without knowing these things, it really is like rearranging furniture in a pitch-black room. You're putting in a ton of effort, you're sweating, you're moving things around, but you have no idea if you're actually making things better. It's just wasted energy. So before you do anything else, before you write a single line of code, or hire anyone, or spend a single cent, pehle light jalao.